Hello everyone. So welcome back to my Python session. So the today's class happens to be, I would like to say it, Python class day 5. So in the last class we have discussed, with respect to the introduction towards the data type, and the whole data type has been done. So all the 14 data types has been completed. So do watch that particular video first. So then later you come back to this particular class, because all the 14 data types, fundamental data types, intermediate level data types, and the advanced data types. So everything we have done it, and notes also has been shared with you. So kindly go through that first, and later you step on to the next concept. See, learning a technology, or attending the classes, it would be like a web series, or like a mega serial. And if you miss out a previous episode, and 100% you'll be not understanding the upcoming episodes. As simple as that. So today our topic of discussion would be on operators. I would like to write it here. So let me write it as, today we are going to discuss about the operators in Python. So I can consider this happens to be topic for the day. So let me place it here. Yeah. Now let us start, understanding what is this operators. So what are the operators are present in Python? So how it is going to work? So all those things we are gonna see it now. Let me share you the screen. After sharing you the screen, let me minimize it, and let me go to the notes which I have typed and kept it for you. So operators in Python, and we are all discussing with respect to Python 3, that you have to keep it in the mind. So operators, what are operators first of all? So this concept seems to be very simple, but it happens to be very tricky also. So majority of the time, whenever you're dealing with any kind of things that you're doing on a programming, operator plays as a vital role. So if you don't have a clarity on operators, then certainly when you get the errors or exceptions, so then you'd be facing some problem to debug that, right? So let us understand what is this. What are operators? So operators is a symbol that performs a certain operation. Okay, well and good. What are the operations that is going to do, and what are the types of operators that are available in Python is what we are going to understand now. Python provides the following set of operators. The first one happens to be arithmetic operator, and second one is relational operator, or it is also called as comparison operator. Next one is logical operator, and the next one is bitwise operator, and the next one is assignment operators, and followed by the last one happens to be special operators. So these are the things that we are going to discuss in today's class. Let me start with respect to the first one. Arithmetic operator. I think it's a basics, and everyone would be knowing about this. What are arithmetic operator? To perform the arithmetic operations, so we would be having some of the operators like this. Say suppose, for example, if you want to use the plus symbol, so it is going to use for addition, and minus for the subtraction, and star symbol for the multiplication, and slash for the division, and percentage for modulo operation, and double slash for the floor division operator, and double star for the exponent operator, or in other word power operator, to get the power of a number. So let us see in the terms of examples, so how this is going to work. So I would like to take you to the ideally. So initial few classes will be dealing with ideally. Later I'll switch myself to the Sublime Text, and I'll tell you how to install that also, all those things. But today's class, let me consider a is equal to 10, and followed by, let me consider b is equal to 2. Let it be as simple as that. The operations that I want to do, I want to print it here. Say suppose I'll consider a plus b. If I consider a plus b equal, let me put a comma here and do the action. A plus b is what I'm supposed to do. Save it and execute it. So you're gonna get a result. So a plus b happens to be 12. So I don't want to give the space here. Let it be is 12. So in the same way, what I'll be doing it here is, let me copy this line. So after copying this, paste it back. So this time let me tell it for multiplication, sorry, subtraction. So minus, save and execute. So it is 8, right? Next, paste it back. and I'm going to deal with respect to the star symbol, which is actually a multiplication, and save and execute it. 10 to the 20. Okay, that's also fine. So next line, I'm going to paste it back. So when I paste it back, I'm going to consider it as a modulo. Okay, modulo next one. Let me go with the division first. Save it and execute it. You'll be getting it as, division by, when you do the division, by default, you'll be getting as a floating number. Okay, to keep this in mind. And whenever I go with the next one, let me paste it back. And I'm going to tell it as this one happens to be the modulo. Let me consider in this way, the floor division part. So what is this double slash is all about? It's a floor division. What do you mean by floor division? You see the result, you will understand now. So I'm going to save it and execute it. You can see if A divided by B giving me a floating number 5.0. When I do the floor division, it will exactly give me the round figure. The integer number is what going to give 5, not 5.0. So this is the difference between the division and the floor division, right? So after which I'm gonna paste it back again, and this time I'm gonna consider this for the modulo. Okay, so when I consider it for a modulo, let me write it here, save and execute it. So modulo of this happens to be 0. So if you divide it correctly, the remainder you will be getting it as 0. So that is what the modulo answer that you are going to get it back. And after that, I want to get the power of it. So multiply it 2 times. Let me consider it as star star. And here also let me consider star star, save and execute. So you are gonna get it as power of it. Like if you multiply it, 10 square happens to be 100. That's what our answer you're gonna get it back. So let me consider all these things, copy it, close it, and coming back here, I'm gonna consider this happens to be the output. Let me write it in a triple quotes. Okay, commenting is not required because directly I'll paste it into the notes. So this is the answer, and let me write it in the next line. Yep. So let me select all these things with respect to the operators just I have shown you. So I'm gonna consider this one happens to be, after copying, come back to my notes, just a second. Yeah, you can observe here, I'll be considering it as a example. So under the example, so I'm gonna paste this one, right? Next, you can see, so you can have this with the floating numbers, you can have this with a complex number. You try to do some of the other things which you can able to do it here. So try out the different combinations and see how you're going to get the result back. Right now, let me have a note point here. The note point says slash operator always perform a floating point arithmetic. I mean to say, if you do it, you will get it as 5.0. You have seen, right? Hence, it will be always return the floating value. But float division can perform the floating point and the integral arithmetic. You will get an integer number. So exact number you'll get, no floating point extra numbers. You're not going to get it out. So in that way, if argument are int type, then the result would be in the int type. If at least one argument is float type, then the result would be in the float type. So that you can change it with the different examples and check it out. We can use plus, and star symbol for the string type also. So this is quite interesting. If you want to use the plus operator for the string type, then compulsory both the arguments should be of the string type. Otherwise, we'll get an error. So what is this? You're going to see it now. Observe, cancel it. And I'm going to consider this happens to be, say, suppose s equals SAGAR and followed by a tell it as 10. And I will tell it as print s, save and execute. So it is going to give me an error. So what is the error? It's a type error. Can only be concatenate with respect to integer, not with string, right? That means if you want a string do the concatenation, it should be another string. So this is not going to possible. That is what it is holding up, right? So next, if in case, if I copy this one and if I paste it back here and let me comment it. So after commenting it, if in case if I make this as a string, And if I tell it as you please print the S, so you save and execute. So string and string. Oh, S is not defined. Comment is save and execute. You can see Sagar and 10. You can easily add it. Plus operator can be used on the strings for the concatenation. Concatenation means joining up the two strings. That's all. But both the things should be strings. That is what it is telling the point, right? And one more point which I want to say it here. So maybe I will say it later. Let me copy this much first. And let me put it here. We'll get an error. Okay, we'll paste it here below the note point. And let me tell it as example, right? Okay, see the next one. If you use the star operator for the string type, then compulsorily one argument should be int and another argument should be string type. So then only it is going to work. If not, you'll be getting it an error. So what is the meaning of that? I have an example here, but let me show it to you, right? Uh, 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 okay, observe now. So I'll cancel this one. Maybe S is equal to, so I'm gonna consider this happens to be SAGAR and star symbol into 2. And in the next line, I can print it as print S. So save and execute. This is going to work. String can be multiplied twice. And reverse also you can do it. I mean to say that, so S equals maybe 2, okay, 3 star, maybe I save and execute it. So this is also possible. So these combinations are going to work either the way it is going to work. But the point is, if you take a floating number, so S is equal to 2.5 into hello, save and execute it. So it is going to give the error saying it as type error cannot multiply the sequence by non-integer type, that is float. So for integer it is okay boss, but for the float it is not acceptable. That is what it is telling. And whenever you are multiplying a string with a string, that combination is also possible. So let me show you that by commenting these two things. So S is equal to SAGAR and multiply with maybe SAGAR, same kind of strings. I'll be taking it out and I'll be considering it as print of S. So save and execute it. You can see, so cannot multiply a sequence by non-int string. So this is also not possible because you need how many times it has to be multiplied. But if you multiply a string with a string, that is not at all possible. So I'll comment it and paste it back here. Select all this, copy this. When I give you the notes, please go through the notes carefully. And this is the point which is already be present. I think you can have it here, so no need not to paste it back. So examples are there here. That's quite good, sufficient. Now plus symbol, if you consider string concatenation will happen. Multiplication, if you consider string multiplication operator for any x number, this note point is quite important. Observe carefully. If you do x divided by 0 or if you do x modulo 0, always it will give you 0 division error. What is the meaning, sir? What is the meaning is a is equal to 10 by 0, and if I tell it as print a, so save and execute, you'll be getting it as 0 division error. Can you see about this? More I'll speak on exception handling classes, but as of now you can listen like this. You will be getting it as 0 division error. So not only for the normal division, the same thing if you copy it and paste it back for the floor division or modulo, everything remains the same. Save and execute. You'll be getting a 0 division itself for modulo of 0. See, correctly it is showing what are the mistakes that you're doing. So if you observe the error properly, then for many of your questions you'll be getting the answers. Let me uncomment this, select all, copy this, minimize this, and coming back, and let me write it in the form of example. Let me tell it as example and paste it back below that, right? I hope you're getting my points, right? Yeah. Now observe carefully. This completes the whole arithmetic operator which I was speaking about. So all the things, I think I've given you the sufficient clarity. So next move on to the next character. I mean to say the next operator. So what is the next operator? The next operator happens to be the relational operator. So let me start with respect to this relational operator. Keep observing. So what is this relational operator? So relational operator means when you comparing these two things, so you need to check it out. So which is greater, which is lesser, or it is equal. That is what build the relationship. So what are this relationship? You have the combination of this greater than, lesser than, greater than or equal to, lesser than or equal to, or equal to. So these are the we are going to consider. It happens to be the relational operator. So let me give you an example for this. Coming back to the program, cancel this one. Again, the same story. I'll consider a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 2. And later, I would like to consider this happens to be the print statement. And after that, let me tell it as a is greater than b or not. So greater than or b or not. So a is greater than b. So let me talk colon here. Let me remove the space. And I would like to ask the same thing. Is that a is greater than b? So I'll be getting the answer in the form of a boolean, true or false. So save and execute it. So I'll be getting it as true, which means yes, a is greater than b, right? So in the same way, if I copy it and paste it back, and this time I'm gonna reverse it. Say suppose, okay, I'll tell it as greater than or equal to. So I'll save it and execute it. I'm sorry, does not change the operator here. Save it and execute it. You can see still it is true. It is greater or equal. It's greater, so it is showing it as true. So next, I will paste it back, and I'll do the reverse of it. And if is b is greater than a, so save and execute it. It is showing it as false. No, 10 itself is greater than 2. And the same thing, if in case if I apply it back or equal to, let me consider like this. Yeah, save and execute it. So I'll be getting it as false. That's fine. Okay. What next? What next means maybe I'll consider like this. Is A equals B. So don't give single equals. Single equals means assignment operator. Double equals means comparison operator. Is A equals to B? That is the meaning. So then I'm going to tell it here, save and execute it. It will be false. 10 is not equal to 2, right? Let me save and execute it one more time. Whatever the answer that I'm getting it here, just copy it, close this one, come back here and tell it as the output and followed by whatever the answers I got it, I'll paste it back here, copy it and minimize it, and below this example, please paste it back, right? So this is the program that we are going to get it out next. We can apply the relational operators for the string type also, just now whatever I've shown. So on that also you can apply it. So for that also simple example I would be showing it here. I would be consider the A happens to be maybe SAGAR and the B happens to be maybe what else was it? Okay, so SAGAR. So in that case, I'm gonna remove this all the output and let me save it and execute it. So you can see is A is greater than B. So this is a string comparison, guys, which I'll do it in the string class itself. But today, uh, just understand this that you can have a relational operator on the strings also. I am checking for A is greater than B, so it is telling it as true. So A is greater than equal to, so for that also it is telling it as true. So why like this? You're getting the answer on what basis the comparison is happening. I'll tell it in the string class. But this you just keep it as a mind that so on the strings we can apply the relational operator, right? So save and execute it one more time, and whatever the answers that we are getting it here, copy it, close it back, tell it as the output, and below that I'm gonna paste it back for you. Select all these things, copy it, come back to the notes, and paste it back here, right? So example, I would like to tell it out. Let me check out for the next one. Note point. Chaining of the relational operator is possible. So what do you mean by this chaining of the relational operator? If you want to check it out, I'll give you an example. In a chaining, if all the comparisons returns true, then the result will be true. If at least one comparison return false, then the result will be false. For this, you have to understand an example. Let me show you in this way. A is equal to 10 and 10 is greater than 20. So this is what I'm gonna give it, and let me tell it as print A, save and execute it. So 20 is obviously greater than 10, so hence you are getting it as true. What I'll be doing it now is copy it, paste it back, and this time I'm gonna tell it as is 20 is lesser than 30. Again the result will be true. So that is the reason you'll be getting it as true itself. See, 10 is lesser than 20. Yes, this combination, the answer is true. So that true, again, it will be checking with the next one. Is 20 is lesser than 30? Yes. So true. So true and true. So again, you'll be getting it as true, like an AND operator. So paste it back, and maybe 30 and 30 is greater than 50. So now you're gonna get a different answer. You can see false because 30 is not greater than 50. So if one of the combination is fails, then the whole combination fails here. So that is the reason I'll be writing the output here itself. So I'm gonna consider this happens to be okay, true. So you got to know the chaining, right? Operator chaining. So this happens to be the true again. I would like to write it as true, and this happens to be false, right? Select all these things, copy this one, come back, and below this note point I'll give it as an example. So in the class limited examples I'll be taking it out. So after this, based on the example which I have explained in the class, you can check it out for unlimited examples. You'll get it over the internet. Try it out and try to understand the concept in a better way, right? This is with respect to the the relational operator. Next will come for equality operator. I think equality already have explained to you. It's quite simple. Checking out whether A is equal to B or not, or A is not equal to B. As simple as that, right? So let me have an example for this. Cancel this one. I'll consider A equals 10 and B equals 20 and print it out like A equals B or not is comma A equals B. This is what I'm going to say it out. So save and execute it. You'll be getting it as false. No. So equality you're checking. The same thing I'm gonna compare it for not equal, then I should be getting it as true. I'll be telling it as not equal to. So here also I'll be telling it as not equal to. Both are not equal. So this answer should be true. I hope I'm completely clear with this, right? So how to check the equality? Copy this one, close it, come here, write it as the output, and below that put a line, paste it back. Select all, copy it, come back to the notes, and here I would like to tell it as example. Below the example, paste it back, right? Now, chaining concept is also applicable for equality. At least one comparison, returns false, then the result would be false. Otherwise, it is true. Just now, whatever you have seen, same thing. Okay. Next, we'll move on to the next operator, which is quite important and the tricky one, which we are going to consider it as a logical operator. What is this logical operator? We will see now. So logical operator, you have studied in your college days itself. So in any of the subject, three important logical operators are there, like and operator or and not operator. We can apply all, apply all types, especially for the Boolean behavioral types. So and what it will do, and if both arguments are true, then the result will be true. And or operator, if at least one argument is true, then the result will be true. Not operator is a complement. If it is one, it's zero. If it is zero, it is one. So in that case, true and false is false. Maybe let me write it here by giving some space. True and false. So if you consider it is false, for example, I'm taking it would be like, let me write it here. 1 and 0 will give you 0, because both should be 1, then only AND operator is going to work for you. And if in case if I consider it for OR, it will be true. That is the difference. Let me go to the next line, and I would like to consider 1 or 0. It's like addition, so it would be answer will be 1 itself, right? Let me move on a bit. Yeah, so this is quite different. So the reverse of it. So not false, that you can consider as a complement. So not 0 actually give you 1. Just the three things which you need to remember. For the non-Boolean types behaviors, how it is going to work. 0 means false, non-zero means true. Empty string treated as always as a false. That anyways I'll be telling it to you. If you consider the XY combination, this you have to understand, quite a tricky one. If X is evaluates for false, then X returns, otherwise returns Y. What is the meaning of this, sir? What is the meaning of this? With an example, I want to show it to you. Let me go here, cancel this, and I would like to tell it as A equals 10 and 20. So 10, whether it is considered as true or false, we would have always have a confusion, right? So that's the reason. See, I'll print and show you the result A. Save and execute it. So it will be showing 20. Why it is not showing true or false? Because you have to understand this point, the point which I have shown here. So suppose if X and Y is there, if X is evaluates to false, then returns X. Otherwise, it will return Y. So X is evaluates to false, then it is going to return X. But what it is returning here? I'm sorry, where is the output? What it is returning here? It is returning 20. That means it is returning Y. If it is returning Y, then you must understand this point carefully. X is not false. That means it is true. The positive number is considered as true, and it is not going to return X. It is going to return Y. That is the reason you got this example. So I would like to show it here. 10 and 20, if you consider, maybe I'm gonna cancel. Okay, let me paste the program here itself. Select this, copy, come back and paste it here, right? And this is for 10 and 20. The same thing you apply. I'll go here. Instead of 10, I'll make it as 0. 0 means it's a straightforward, it is false. So false and a number. Number means true. So if you do that, the answer that you're going to get happens to be 0 itself. For this also, you'd be having a point. What is the point? If the first argument is 0, then the result is 0. Otherwise, the result is Y. For that, you have this answer. This is a quite a tricky one. You may feel it like a mathematics class, but don't be get confused. So now you have to understand the concept. That is the main intention here. Let me write it here. 10 and 20. Okay, let me paste it here first. And now let me cut it out and put it here. For 10 and 20, what is going to happen? And later for 0 and 20, what is going to happen? Paste it here, put a line for this, and you can see point is also given. What is the point? If the first argument is 0, then the result is 0, otherwise result will be y. Next set of combination you try to understand. If x evaluates true, then the result is x, otherwise the result is y for the OR operator. So the same thing, it's a reverse format of the AND operation. If 10 and 20 are there, you can see 10 is not false because it's a number, it's a true. So if it is true, then the x will be given, otherwise the 20 will be given. But in this case, it is 0, so it is not true, it is false. So then what will happen? Instead of x, it is going to show y, that 20 will be generated. As simple as that. For the numbers, you don't have to confuse. See the notes properly and read these points carefully. You will get it, right? And for the not operator also same thing. Whatever the number is there, the reverse of it. So if it case not of 10, not of 10, 10 means true, positive number. Not means it's reverse, negative number. True reverse is false. 0 means it's false. So reverse of false happens to be true. That is how it has been designed. So keep this in mind. You can have a few examples like this. So I will consider the next one for a while. So the points which are given here, the highlighted one, kindly go through it, read it twice or thrice until it will stick onto your mind. So then you will understand what I am trying to tell it out here. So I'm gonna cancel this one and put a star. Yeah, that's it. So x and y combination, try to understand for the and or not, you're gonna get it. The next one happens to be, we are going to consider the very important one, which call it as a few people will call it as a byte-wise operator, few people will call it as a bitwise operator. So however it's comfortable for your pronunciation, so you can call in that way. What is this bitwise operator? We can apply this operator bitwise or byte-wise. As a basic general knowledge, you have to understand this. When you go for a memory, so memory will be divided into blocks, and whenever you have a block of memory, it is divided into 8 bits. One bit means either it can contain 0 or it can hold 1. So 8 bits together will make you 1 byte. So this is as a general knowledge, you keep it in mind. I would like to tell it as memory is divided in the form of bytes. 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. 1 bit can store either 0 or 1 in it. So this is the point you have to remember. Now we can apply these operators bitwise on the numbers that you can apply. These operators are applicable only for the integer and boolean types, not for the string, not for the float, and not for the complex, and so on. By mistake, if you are trying to apply it for any other type, then we will get an error. What are the bitwise operator? Just now we have seen, right? The same kind of thing. You can have it like, AND operator, OR operator, NOT operator, XNOR operator, and negation symbol. That is NOT operator. And these two things are quite important. We'll call it as a right shift operator, left shift operator. So what is this? With the example, I'm gonna tell it for you now. I'm gonna consider the same thing. Just now you have seen, right? So 4 ampersand 5. So what would be the answer that you're going to get? Valid and invalid is a secondary point, which I'll show you to in later, which I'm going to discuss you with later. Type error, why you're going to get it out. But the point is, just now you have studied and the same logic I will apply it. Let me open this. Okay, by miss I've closed it, sorry. I tell it as open and let me come to music and interesting mind. And I think in the day 2 it's there in the program folder demo. I'll open that. Okay, minimize it, close this one, come back here, and here I'm gonna tell it as print 4 and 5. Okay, save and execute it. So you are getting it as 4. Why you are getting it as 4? You have to remember the point with respect to the what you call it as the AND operator. Just now you have studied, right? The logical operator. So where is that point? If x is evaluates to false, then return x. Otherwise, it is going to return y. So in this case, what it is showing is answer happens to be 4. Why it is showing it as 4? Because it is whenever the y value is greater than the x value, now x value is considered it as false. So this false value is going to show for us. This you have to keep it in the mind. And that is what I've shown you here also as example. Don't worry too much on this. Just understand like the different combinations of the operators. And in that they're saying whenever you are going for floating numbers on the bitwise operators, it is not going to work for you. It will show unsupported operand for float and float. And when you go for Boolean, yes, it is valid. You just remember what are valid and invalid combination. So not the other things, right? Very important thing out of this happens to be this last two things, right shift operator and left shift operator. So this is very, very important. Please observe carefully. After shifting the empty shells, we have to fill up with 0. So 10 left shift operator is 40. What is this? Is what let us understand. Let me go back here. Print, I'm gonna say it as the 40. Okay, 10 left shift operator 2. Save and execute it. Answer you are getting it as 40. So I will tell it as answer is 40. That's great. But how is the point? You have to understand. Now you have to, focus here. So this is very important. First, we have to take 10 in the bitwise. So how we are going to consider the 10 in the bitwise? I'll be considering like this. And I need 1 byte. So to store this information. So I'm going to consider this into 8 part. 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 5, 6 and 7 and 8. So immediately I'm going to give a number for this. You can observe it here. So I'm going to consider it as an index number like 0, 1, 2, 3 and not there. Just come back here. 4, 5, 6 and 7. But if the same thing, if I write it in the form of binary, so then it would certainly change its pattern. So I would like to consider it in the form of like 2. So 2 to the power of 7, like that I have to write it out. But in the whiteboard, whenever I'm representing, I cannot do it the power. So I'll do arrangement for this. You keep observing. I'll be writing it as 2 and 2 and 2 and 2, right? So now let me bring it here, and now again I'll take up a text and I'll be start writing it from here. It is called as 2 to the power of 7, 2 to the power of 6, 2 to the power of 5, 2 to the power of 4, 2 to the power of 3210. I'm just dragging it. Okay, I'll take it as 2 to the power of 3, 2 square. So 2 to the power of 1, 1 and 2 to the power of 0. Okay, come here. Yeah, it's there. I think now you got the point why I've taken like this, right? Yes. So if I want to represent 10, so the value happens to be, the value is 10. I'll consider it as value, E happens to be 10. So how we are going to store 10? It is not 1 and 0, it is 10. 10, how we will be storing? 2 to the power of 1 followed by 2 to the power of, 2 cube is what? 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. So that's how we are going to store it now. I'm going to consider it in the same way. So keep observing. So initially you'll be having 0 here, you'll be having 0, and you'll be having 0, and you'll be having 0, and in the fourth block you will be having the next number. Keep observing it here. So 0 0, and I'm be considering it as 1, and maybe here happens to be 0, and here happens to be 1, and here happens to be 0. This is how we are gonna represent for a 10. Now when I tell left shift operator, so I'm gonna consider it as left shift operator, and symbolically it is represented like this. Whenever you are doing like this, what is going to happen? Left shift means you move all the bits by left side. By how much? By 2. Because we have told like this, 10 left shift by 2. That means what will happen? These 2 blocks you are seeing, right? The leftmost corner will be removed, and all these 3 people will move it in this direction. If I want to represent it, they will move it in this direction. So as a result, what will happen next time whenever I am going to show this one, it would be looking like this. So again I have to take some blocks here. It would takes a bit of time. Just keep observing. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, so I'm having 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, so I'm gonna have it as a numbers, not more than that. So let me pull it up and change the color to, so I'm gonna consider it as 1 2 3 4 5 and 6 7. So I'm gonna draw one more line here where it will be consider it as a 8, right? You tell me, this 0 whatever you are seeing here, it will come and sit here. This 0 will come and sit here, this 1 will come and sit here. Like that these people will move. So I will take out these numbers whichever there. As of now I will be writing it as 0, next 0, next 1 0, and after that 1 0, right? Let me take that as well, and let me consider it as 0 0 and 1 and 0 and 1. Next is 0. So these many things are there. The last 2 columns are left out. So whenever it is left out, you have to fill with a different color by saying I would like to tell it as this happens to be 0 and 0, right? Now bitwise if you calculate this one, so this will give up you to the 40. How, if you ask me? So I want to take it out it again. Let me take it out. Let me pull it up. This one, if you understand, the next one is easy for you. So I'm gonna consider it as 2, again 2 2 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and like 2 2. Yeah, this is what I'm gonna have it here. And here let me pull it to the last one, right? Now upon this I will take up one more thing, like 2 to the power of 7 to 0. Just observe it here, it's a matter of time, that's all. So 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 and 0. Okay, and 0, right? You can see now, you just have to count it down, like the values wherever it is present. Okay, I think it has been coordinated directly, but not exactly. So please pardon me for that. Now you check out the value. Where is the 1? 2 to the power of 5. What is 2 to the power of 5? What is the 2 to the power of 5? When you multiply 2 into 5 times, 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8, 8 2s are 16, and 16 2s are 32, right? So you'll be having 32. And what is 2 to the power of cube? So it is 8. So if I sum it up, 32 plus 8 equals 40, right? That is the reason whenever you are going to do the left shift operator, 10 left shift operator, so you will be getting the answer as 40. I hope I'm completely clear with this. I will re-show the diagram again. Whenever you're doing the left shift operator, first you take it in the bitwise, and after that, how much you are shifting, that much you have to remove on the left side, and on the RHS you have to put zeros, extra zeros. This is a left shift operator. The same thing is applicable for right shift. Right shift, what will happen? You have to arrange it in the order, and if it is a two right shift, then right twomost place, the twomost column, that you have to remove it out, and you have to fill the remaining boxes with 0, and you have to shift it, you have to move it. I hope I'm completely clear with my words. Yes, that is the reason 10 left shift operator 2 is giving you the 40, right? When you do the right shift operator, same thing. You try it out for the right shift operator and 10 right shift to 2. So you should be getting the answer as 2. How you are going to check it out? Is that clear for everyone? Yes? Yeah. So now let us move on to the next operator. So the next important operator happens to be the assignment operator. So what is this assignment? You are assigning the value to some variable. So we can use the assignment operator to assign the value to the variable. For example, x is equal to 10. So 10, you are giving up to x. So that is the meaning of assignment operator. So yesterday class, when we are checking about mutability, immutability of certain data types, it was giving one error called as, doesn't support the type assignment. What do you mean by that? Whenever you try to give something which is there in the RHS to the LHS, so if it is not able to assign, then it is going to give it as assignment operator is not supported, right? We can combine the assignment operator with some other operator to form a compound assignment operator. Like you can have the assignment operator with arithmetic operator. So the following is the list of the all possible compound assignment operators in Python. Plus or equal to, minus or equal to, multiply with equal to, division by equal to, modulo equal to, floor division equal to, power equal to, and equal to, or equal to, not equal to, left shift equal to, right shift equal to. So for all these things combiningly, let me have a small example for you. Say suppose, select this, cancel. I won't show all the things, just a few things I'll show it here. So I'll tell it as x is equal to 2, and in the next line, I'll be telling it as maybe x1 is equal to 20, and in the next line, x plus x1, I will store it in y, and in the next line, I have to print x, save and execute. This is how normal addition we would be doing. So x is equal to 10, x is equal to 5 plus 10. I have to print y, sorry. So you'll be getting 30. Instead of this, you can rewrite the program in this way. X is equal to 10 and x plus equals 20. X plus equals 20. So later you can print x itself, save and execute. you would be getting it as 30. I hope I'm clear with this. This combination you try it out for all the other things, so you'll be getting the same result. I'll be coming it out and put a example here. Right? Done. Next, ternary operator. I thought last climax operator, but a bit rarely used one. So like syntax, what is ternary operator? You have a x first value if the condition is true, else the second value. I'm not done the conditional statements for you. Wait for the flow control process. So till then you understand, if first condition is true, you have to do something. If not, else you have to do the some second thing. Okay, what is that? We'll check it out. If condition is true, then first value will be considered, else the second value will be considered. So for that, we'll have an example, then only you will understand it in a better way. Cancel it out, and I would like to tell it as a comma b equal 10 comma 20. This you have seen right in the first class. You can have multiple variables and multiple values. So this concept we'll call it as packing and unpacking. So I'll tell it as x is equal to 30, and I'll write if a is lesser than b, else 40. And now I will print x. The meaning of this is quite simple. You only observe the resultant. 30 is the answer you're getting. Why, sir? 10 is a is 10, b is 20, and I'm telling if a is lesser than b, you have to print the x value. So if not, you have to print the y value. That means the else part. So answer that we are getting happens to be 30. Why we are getting it as 30? Why we are getting, because 30 here the condition is not going up for the false, it is going for true, right? That is the reason you are getting up the answer happens to be x, right? Yeah. One more example I will be showing it to you so that you will get even more better clarity. Copy it. Let me paste it back here for a while. And let me have another example for you so that you will get even more a better quality. I will take up the input from the user. Remember, input output functions also I have not done it till now, so I'll be doing it in the next class. So enter the first number. Okay, I'll put a double quote here, remote here. Yeah. Now coming to the next line, select this, copy, paste it back, and B. Enter the second number. Okay, so after doing this, I'll take it as minimum equals A if A is lesser than B, else B. So I would like to tell it as print minimum or min value happens to be this double quotes. Usually I'll type it together. Sorry for that. Put a colon, and I would like to tell it as comma min value, whatever it is there. Save it and execute it. You'll be getting the first one. So 10, 20. So answer is 10 minimum value. I hope you are getting the point now. Comparing to the previous example, at least in this you got a point, right? So I will tell it as save and execute. 20, 10. Minimum value is 10. I hope you got the point. Save and re-execute it. So 10 and 10. Minimum value, again it is showing it as 10 when you go for comparison. That's fine. So I'll select this one, copy it, come back and paste it in the next one. Read the two numbers from the keyboard and write a program to have a minimal number. That's I have written here, right? So note, nesting of the ternary operator is possible. So how to do the nesting is what I'm going to show now. For that, you have to write a program for finding out the minimum of three numbers. When two numbers are there, easily you are identifying it out. When three number is there, how you will do it? I'll copy it and paste it back, which I'll make it as C, and I will tell it as please enter the third number. So after doing that, when I want to calculate the minimum of this number or okay maximum of this number, in the last example we have tried it out for min, we'll try it out for maximum number A. If A is greater than B, else it should be okay. I'll take out two condition here. I'll take out AND operator and I'll make it as if A is greater than C. So when you have to print A, if in case A is greater than B, print A, and if A is greater than C, then print A, else you have to check it out. Else it is B, and if B is greater than C, so else it will be C. Okay, so checking out all the combination and finally checking out the max number. So I would like to consider the max value. Okay, let me tell it in this way: 10, 20, 30. So maximum value is 30. I hope you got the point. So you can have these multiple conditions in the same line. That is what the meaning of ternary operator. So let me write it as the output. Write it here, paste it, select all, copy it, come back here and put a line for this, paste it down, right? Write a program to find maximum of three numbers. I think that is what I have done it now. So you can alter it out. For minimum number, you try it out. For maximum number, I have tried it. And for this, try it out. You will also do it once. You'll get it. Next. The last one happens to be the special operators. The special operators in Python are two types. One is you are going to check out the identity. Another one is you are going to check the membership. What is this identity operators and membership operator? Now we will see it now. Identity operator, we can use the identity operator for the address comparison. I have told you right that day, if any two objects are there, if you want to check its memory address, we are going to make use of ID function. Do you remember? Instead of using ID function, you can make use of the keyword here called as is, right? How? I'm going to check it out now. Observe carefully. A is equal to 10, B is equal to 10. In the memory, how many objects will be there? Only one object. Why? Because whenever there are same object is there, for the same object, you can give multiple references. This we have seen in the class 2, right? So I will tell it as A is B or not. Is what it is going to do. I would like to comment it here. Is keyword is will compare the address of objects and returns Boolean value, right? Now save it, execute it. True, because it's a single object. It is not two different objects. I hope you got my point. So let me write it here as true. Save it, copy it, come back, write it as example, paste it here. Am I completely clear with this? So identity, you are going to have it in two format. So one is and one is not, the reverse of it. You can see both. Say suppose if R1, that means the reference 1 and reference 2 returns true if both R1 and R2 are pointing to the same object. That day I've told you, right? A also pointing to 10 itself, B also pointing to 10 itself inside the memory. So for one object, multiple references are possible. and R is not R2, then returns true if R and R2 are not pointing to the same object. If this is 10 and that is 20, then you are going to get it as false, right? So we can have a simple examples for these kind of things. So I'll get back here, and I'm gonna consider this happens to be 20, and here you can have is, so then you're going to get it as false. Why? Because this is a different object, this is a different object. Address of this is different, so it is going to give it as false. Is that clear? So I'll be making this happens to be the false. Select this, copy, come back here and paste it. Clear with this? And how you are using is, the reverse of it is not. You can use that. And note, we can use the is operator for address comparison, and double equals. There's a comparison operator for comparison, content comparison. You can use it. Next, membership operator. Membership operator in the sense is that a member of the element or not, we are supposed to check. What do you mean by that? We can use membership operators to check whether the given object present in the given collection or not. Say suppose, I'll go with an example so that you will get it in a simplest way. I'll take up a string. So s equal, maybe I'll tell it as hello everyone, how are you? This is what my string is all about, and I'll tell it as print, and I want to check one of the character like n. So this n I'm gonna consider it as string. I will tell it as is n in yes or not. Yes is a string, my whole string. In that n character is there or not. If it's there, it will give it as true. You can see. So z is not there. If you observe the string, I will tell it as is z is in s. It is giving me false. The same thing is applicable for not in also. Copy it, paste it back. So n not in s, then it will give you false because it is there. And z not in s, it will give true because it is actually not there. So reverse of it, that's all. Don't get confused here. The reverse of answer, true false and false true, reverse of it. That's all. Copy this, come back here, paste it here as the output and paste it back. Select all these things and go back to the nodes, and I'm gonna have it here, like paste it back. So kindly go through these programs carefully. Operator precedence. So this is very important. I think you have studied somewhere in your school or college days. This concept is there. Whenever you have multiple arithmetic operator, so you have to go with the formula. And what is that formula? And that formula we are going to call it as PEMDAS rule. Okay. So what is that PEMDAS rule? So PEMDAS. This is PEMDAS rule. What do you mean by this PEMDAS rule? Whenever you have multiple operators, so you have to go it in this way. First, you have to give preference to parenthesis, next to exponent, then multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. That's it. So if multiple operators present, then which operator will be evaluated first by decided by operator precedence. So the example, if you have 10 plus 3 into 2, the answer is 23. How, sir? First preference is given to multiplication. See the PEMDA rule. First multiplication, then addition will come. So 10 2s are 20. So 20 plus 3, 23. Right? It will be not like this. 10 plus 3, 13. 13 2s are, you'll be getting 26. No, that is not the case. But if you have a parenthesis, see 10 plus 3 is in the parenthesis. So it will give you a first option. So it will be 13 into 2, it is 26. I hope you got my point, right? So what are the following list of this, I've just told PEMDA. So that I've given parenthesis. exponential, bitwise complement or unary operator, multiplication, division, modulo, flow division, addition, and finally subtraction, and last left shift or right shift operator, then bitwise and bitwise XOR, bitwise or relational comparison. So all these things will come. So just keep this in mind. Do not worry on so many things. So PEMDAS rule, this is what you have to keep it in mind. Parenthesis, exponential, multiple, division, addition, subtraction. Right? Remaining things, you don't have to worry. And is and is not, what it is going to do, it's the identity members, and in, not in, membership operator, not, logical not, and logical and, or logical or, right? So these many things is what we are gonna have it here. Based on this, you can have a bit examples so that you can work it out, right? Let me save this one. So if I come back here to the beginning of the class, wherever I've started my discussion, so operators are these many things. Yes. So arithmetic operator, relational operator, logical operator, bitwise operator, assignment operator, and special operator. So in this, you also studied, ternary operator and so on. And for all those things, you have seen with respect to the examples also. So how it is gonna work, right? So this completes the concept of operators in Python for you. So in my next class, I'll be starting with respect to the flow control, and along with the flow control, I would be also explaining you to the input and output statements. And if possible, I'm gonna add a concept called as command line argument there itself. Also, next class is all about the control flows, input output statements, and the command line argument. So we'll meet up in the next class. Till then, have a great day, and please revise the concepts and do attend the classes regularly and go through the notes multiple times. And yeah, in the beginning stage, you will feel like it's very easy, or you may feel like it's very difficult, but as the days progress, everything will change. Those who are feeling easy, they may feel difficult. Those who are feeling difficult, they may feel easy. It only depends on how you're gonna revise the content. You have to revise the content, and any doubts if you're having, you have to interact with the trainer, and that's how you're gonna learn it. So once your basic foundation is strong, so then later onwards, whatever the programs I'm gonna give you, whatever the oops concepts that I'm gonna teach it for you, so everything directly you can understand, and you will feel like that you've studied something. Okay, so in a less time, nothing can be happen. So anything you want to build it up, you need a time. Okay, so overnight nothing can be happen, you need some time. So have that patience in the mind, learn bit by bit, and one fine day you will make it as a complex, you'll have a complex knowledge, right? Okay, then bye, we'll catch you up in the next class. Thank you so much.